truckloads of mulch. So 2 of them was dumped over here, and we got one that was dumped right there because it was a heavier truck. So we didn't want it getting stuck. As you can see, it is still muddy as here. Some of the smaller trucks, you can see some of the ruts from where they came in, but Tony's over there now, just piling it up a little bit more because we can't take it back to the back. I hope you'll be able to see this, but it's still all muddy through there. We gotta go through that gate and then go that way and all the way back. But we'd make such a mess in the pasture if we took the tractor with the wagon several times back there with loads of mulch. And we just don't want to do that right now until it either dries out and the ground gets harder or freezes over to make the ground harder. But I don't see that happening probably the next 14 days. It doesn't seem like it's going to get down low enough temperature-wise to make that ground hard. So the only thing we can do is stack the pile higher. Now we have thought about moving the stock trailer and then the wagon that we use to dump the mulch over on the other side of the barn. That way, that'll give them a little bit more room to dump more chips. But to us, that just makes a bigger pile and more days to be doing nothing but hauling the mulch back. We just hope that we'd have a few good days to where we could get it where the ground would be hard enough to be able to take it back there, and if they did bring us more mulch, that we would have it be able to go back there as well without damaging much of the property. Do what we can. In the meantime, chickens are still doing what they're supposed to be doing, scratching through the stuff, getting yummy stuff to eat. And Miss Katie right there. Thinks every time I come out here that I got something for them to eat, whether I pull some grass for them or give them their scratch grain or some scraps from the house. But I don't have anything at the moment for the rest of them. So Tony's got that pushed up as much as he can, and now he's over by the garage. Just gonna bucket it all the way over to the pile. You can see that even the tractor does some good divots in the ground.
I just want to say thank you for everyone for giving us some names. We have chosen the name for the new chicken, and her name is Onyx. And here's Onyx right there.
I think it's too dark
To see.
in there. But
Onyx is in there.
So that's our last chicken that we need a name until we get some.
Until we get our batch of chickens.
Yeah, the girls both want to get the blue Cochin chicks. So they want to end up getting, what is it, like
15
total?
15 total.
So one rooster and then 14 hens.
Well, me and Sissy were thinking about 2 roosters. That way there's 2 of them. But
so then you'd have 2 roosters and 13 hens. But
plus,
then you're taking the chance of both of those roosters fighting.
So we'll just have 1 rooster, 14 hens, plus penguin, which is actually 17 chickens.
14 plus 1,
Well,
or 15 plus 1
yeah,
is 17.
16 chickens. Oops.
Maybe we should have spent a little more time on our math lesson today. All right.
Don't see her.
So we came up with a name and see what else we got going on.
Alright, so as you can see, the feeder's in here today. Started out with the morning feeding today of bringing the feeder inside here and giving them their cubes. That way I can get them all used to coming into the barn. And normally what I do is anytime we've got close to a vet appointment or when I need to start working calves, this is the routine I go through. I bring the feeder in here and give them their cubes inside. First few days I do nothing but I'll have that gate swung open and I'll go stand over there in the corner and let everybody pass me and come in here and eat and let them go on their free will in and out. Try to watch to make sure everybody comes in. Today being the first day of it, Rosie is the only one that didn't come in tonight. She stood right at the doorway basically. Everybody else broke this side of the doorway. So Navajo needs to come a little bit further in because the goal is to get everybody in past where I can swing that gate shut. Once I can get that, then I can push calves up the aisleway if I need to, or when we set up the temporary pen area in here, as long as I can get them to where I can shut that gate, we can finish getting them into the temporary pen for like a vet day or something like that. Normally, we use the portable corral panels and section it off here and then run it about where that wagon is and have the alley going to the chute there. And then our chute does actually have a scale underneath it, so that way when the vet's here, we get a weight on them at the time that she's doing anything to them. The only time we don't is, and actually this year's the first year that, or well, I guess 2020. I'm not used to it being a new year yet, but 2020's spring calves was the first set of calves that were ever run into the chute for her to actually castrate. Normally, I would just throw my leg around their neck and kind of squeeze them in like a head chute, and she would be behind me and cut them. But we were able to get because this head chute, it has pins for the adjustments to be able to change it, and we were actually able to get it small enough and get her in there. So every time she comes, we kind of learn a little bit more about how we can use our equipment to help her move through here a little faster. So She gives us hints along the way, and every time we learn something a little bit different, whether it's we've seen it on somebody else's YouTube video, some post that we've read on the internet, or something I just seen that went on the last time that, well, maybe if we try this to change that little bit up, then it'll go better. Because actually, the last time the vet was here, I actually haltered all but one of them and run them through the chute that way from their pen. So that actually seemed to work very well. But that was, the girls were here also, so we had 4 of us running cows through the chute instead of just Brittany and I like normal. So that made a world of difference. The girls were able to hand me halters, and I kept haltering the cows and sending them into the aisleway.
And
So,
we kept record of which cows went through,
Yep.
so we know how many there was.
Yep. So, but we're gonna continue during our daily feedings, morning and night. We'll bring them in to this area, and actually they'll have a little bit more area as time goes, because when about 2 more round bales go out, so about a total of another 6 to 9 days roughly, because they go through a bale about 3 to 4 days. So when I get rid of 2 more round bales out there, I'll be able to take the tractor and kind of parallel park it up against the wall over there, so that'll open up a little bit more room there, because it's kind of tight getting all of them in this area. That's why we didn't video any of it, because it's about everything for them to get all in here with that amount of area, because normally when we get the vet coming, the tractor's not in here. I either put it up in the aisleway or outside if it's not raining. So, but we'll continue to do that until I'm comfortable that I can get the calves safely up into the aisleway and into the what used to be the foaling stall when this was still a horse barn. So, and then from there we'll start videos on how we start halter breaking calves. And this will be the first year that I'm actually gonna start last year's spring calves this year. Normally I start them and they're worked, that way we go to Louisville with them, but that didn't happen last year because of the whole virus stuff. We didn't go to very many shows last year, so we didn't even go to 4-H. We did virtual. So I probably use a little bit different method than most when it comes to halter breaking calves, but it was what I learned by talking with some others on some Facebook groups that I'm on, and they were older cattlemen that's the way they've been doing things that method works, whether it's a couple-day-old calf all the way through a full-grown cow, if you want to start them the way I'm going to do in the videos. So we'll show you the way I do it. And like I said, there's not the only way to do it. It's just the way that I do it. And then, because normally when we start working calves to start showing them, I'm the one that goes in there and gets them to where the halter is on them, and they'll actually lead around a little bit in the stall before I let the girls around them. And then we transition from the stall to walking the aisleway of the barn. And then from there, we bring them back here, and I set up depending on the calves, I'll either set up a temporary pen back here to walk them in, or just move the tractor out and have this whole open area to walk them in. And basically you go off of the demeanor of the calf, and that's how we judge what we need. And then we also make a temporary pen out the front side of the barn. That way we can walk them out there. Once they get a little bit better as far as leading, because once we get them out front, then off of both sides of the barn, they can actually see around the barn and see the rest of the herd, and that way it gives them some distractions. So, but just look forward to those videos coming out here soon. Like I said, from the looks of it today, it's probably going to be about 4 or 5 days of doing this before I feel comfortable enough to even get them up to the stall. And I won't mess with them the first day or so that I get them in the stall, because we try to do everything in a calm manner and make sure we're not upsetting the cow and stressing it any more than we actually have to. So, like day one, when we push them up the aisleway and get them to the stall, that's quite a bit of stress on them. So we want to make sure that when they get up there, then we'll give them some hay to eat on and just kind of let them walk around in there. And then we'll release them back out to the rest of the herd. So, but we'll show you guys videos of that along the way. Being winter time and kind of muddy outside, this gives me something to do with the cows that I don't have to trample around in the mud any more than I have to, and it gives you guys a look of what we actually do around here, because just because it's winter and it's mud outside don't mean there's not something to do. And we're gonna prep these calves so hopefully 4-H goes and we got some shows going on this year. So if not, at least they'll be easier to handle when we do need to do things with them. So hope you enjoy the videos. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share on social media with all your family and friends, and we'll see you tomorrow.